Well, hey everybody, this is Don from Wizard Tower Games, and I want to do a real quick video inspired by Joe Block, the Greyhawk Gardener. Thanks, Joe, for making your post on Facebook today. I want to talk about IP and trademark law. Now, I know just enough about IP and trademark law to make me dangerous to myself. But in all fairness, everything I say has been vetted by an attorney because I am in the process of filing some trademarks, and I always believe when it comes to things that could potentially land you in federal court, always talk to a lawyer and don't talk to your local divorce attorney, criminal attorney, family law attorney. Talk to an IP attorney. Now, why would you want to do that? They're more expensive to talk to because IP law and trademark law, intellectual property law, is a really narrow niche, and you really need to be boned up on the current laws and regulations. So I have one out of Grand Rapids I use. Now, again, Joe Block, thank you very much. What did Joe Block post? Joe Block posted about the Greyhawk trademarks are expired on the USTPO website. For those of you who don't know, that is the main website of the feds where you can look up trademarks, copyright, file trademarks, file copyright, and all that good stuff. And I took a look at it, and it has been expired, I believe, since 2019. And their list is abandoned. Now, you got to be really careful about verbiage when you're talking about IP law. Abandoned. You know, think of it like this. If a parent abandons their child on the side of the street, they can still get back custody of their child. You know what I mean? So it's kind of the same thing with trademark law. Now, under his post, there has been a flurry of activity. And I have it open over here. And I have posted on this, and I've kind of tried to explain this to some people. And a lot of people, I don't think, are getting it. And the reason why they're not getting it is because I think what ends up happening is with people is it sounds good to them. So they self-legitimize it. Again, talk to an IP attorney. Some of the bigger comments have been, one person said, Luke Geiger, he tagged Luke Geiger, you should look into getting the trademark. Another person sat there said that, what if, and then other people chimed in and made other comments about, they should buy it and that type of thing. The problem is this, is you can buy a trademark. Like I could go right now and buy the trademark for Greyhawk. Absolutely I could. And I would own it. And I can use it, but I can't use it for games, tabletop games, board games, whatever the classes are. Now, what are classes? Those are uses within the trademark that Wizards of the Coast has under that. And the reason why is because they're actively marketing it under commerce. They have it on Drive-Thru RPG. Now, they don't have to have every use. All they have to do is they just have to have it in commerce, and they still are protected under that use for that. Now, why would the trademark, why would that be legal? I mean, they abandoned the trademark. They abandoned it. They don't want it, right? Well, not necessarily. Places like Wizards of the Coast are large, massive companies, large corporations. And these laws have been passed and these regulations have been passed, and they've been vetted by both state appellate and also federal courts and federal appellate courts. And as such, that's why they say active commerce, you're still protected. So like as an example, let's say I go ahead and I invent this widget 1 we'll call it, and I get a trademark for widget 1, and Don owns widget 1, and I'm selling widget 1 is doing well for me, and Don forgets to refile Don's widget 1 trademark. And let's say a couple of years goes by, I abandon it. And then let's say somebody who also wants to sell widget 1 because they made a better widget 1, let's just say, and they go buy my trademark. They can't sell widget 2, their version, because I'm still protected because I'm actively selling it. I'm in active commerce. And that's the law. And I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's the way it is. And I agree with the law because, one of the things that really bothered me about some online is they believe that if they want to use it, they just can go ahead and use it. Now, if you want proof of what I'm telling you, there's a real easy way of doing it. And that is go take a look at the current federal lawsuit that's happening between Wizards of the Coast and New TSR in the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum and a gentleman by the name of Justin Lanasa. Now, why did I reference them? Because it's a perfect example. Because Justin Lanasa and New TSR, they went and they purchased a bunch of old TSR trademarks that had been expired, abandoned for a very long time. And they just started using them in commerce. And Wizards of the Coast sent them a C&D. They ignored it. And then they thought they would preempt, and they filed a lawsuit saying, yes, we can use it. Wizards of the Coast filed a countersuit. Now, since then, the new TSR 3.0, whatever you want to call them, they filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy as a corporation. So they got bankrupted over this. And on top of that, Wizards of the Coast, in the filings with the bankruptcy court, noted that they have right now almost $985,000 in legal fees. Now, if you don't want to see how these big corporations feel and how serious they are about this, and you think you're going to take a chance hanging in with them, Wizards of the Coast was willing to devote $1 million in legal fees. And for what? Trademarks they're not even really using except in active commerce. They're selling it on what? Drive-Thru-RPG. So that right there ought to take out any fantasies that anybody has that they can buy Greyhawk and use it the way they want. Because, I mean, it's just, think about the gravity of that. Wizards of the Coast is willing to drop almost $1 million in legal fees, and we'll have well over $1 million by the time all this is over with, just to protect their rights to expired, abandoned trademarks, because they sell the product, et cetera, on Drive-Thru-RPG and other sources. So that right there is something you need to be really, really careful, because you are really playing with fire when you go buy a trademark that's expired and for something that you want to do has the same use that trademark was. That's why I say the best way to do this is a couple different steps. Let's say you see a trademark you like. My advice is this. You see a trademark you like. You first get on Google and you Google that company who owned it. And then you see if they're selling product underneath those protected classes. And if they are, I'd walk away. And if you don't, before you do anything at all, get a hold of an IP attorney so they can look into it for you. They can go ahead, do a little bit of investigating for you. They can maybe do a little reach out for you, and they can give you some solid advice. So this video is not meant to be legal advice. I'm just telling you what I know, what I've been told by my IP attorney. And to be frank with you, yes, how I know this regarding Wizards of the Coast is I have already seen the Greyhawk trademark expired a year ago, and I involved my IP attorney because I thought to myself, could I buy this and maybe make some modules under Greyhawk? And maybe I was actually thinking about kind of, revamping the Greyhawk map and make it more detailed. And that was a year ago. That's how I know, to be honest with you. And I got a hold of my IP attorney, and it took him less than 10 minutes on the computer to go, don't touch it. You'll end up in federal court with WotC. So this is Don Wizard Tower Games. Hope everybody's having a good Sunday. Again, not meaning to be legal advice, but I understand the thought. I had the same thing. I saw the trademark, and I was like, this was a year ago. And I was like, this is truly abandoned. Man, I can redo the map. I can sit there and make it more detailed. I can get it, computerized. I can put modules under Greyhawk and all that. No, you can't. So, no, I can't, and neither can you. So again, if you ever see a trademark, and I'm going to hammer this home before I go off, and you ever see a trademark online that you want to use, get a hold of an IP attorney. They're going to ask you first, what's the trademark? They're going to ask for the registration number. They're going to ask you, what do you want to do with this trademark? Are you going to buy? Are you going to sell game product? Are you going to write a book? Are you going to, do whatever? Make a website. Get with them. Make sure, and and also consult two things of Wizards of the Coast. Consult the OGL, the Open Game License, and consult their fan use license, their fan use policy. So those would be the two licenses that kind of fall under the use of Greyhawk if you want to make, because one guy said, I want to make modules under Greyhawk. So again, talk to an IP attorney. Have a good Sunday. Happy gaming. And this Tuesday, 8 o'clock, tune in. I'm going to have a live, and me and Tim Casker, I believe we're going to be on here a second week. I'm not sure. I got to get with Tim on this. So happy gaming, everybody.